Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, you know there's just 183 days until Christmas 2021. And this week, we'll be talking about the Bad Batch episode 8, giving our takes on it and our predictions for episode 9. And as usual, I've got my co-host with me, my good friend, Imagic Maker. Hello, friend. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not my role. That's Santa's.
Well, you know what? After episode 8, it felt like Christmas in June. I know Christmas.
It did. That was a really good episode.
Well, holy moly, that was great.
I know you got your Christmas present right there at the end.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my reaction. It's in my Discord. Some folks were gracious enough to grab it, but Santa was surprised. Let's put it that way. It was really good. Oh my goodness! And Sheev the Wise, hello. We had a really good stream with Sheev earlier this week, and we put a bet down. The bet is if Boba Fett kills Cad Bane at any point. If because we know Cad Bane's alive now, if Boba Fett kills Cad Bane at any point, then I have to put Vader's lair behind me here on the videos for an entire week. And if Cad Bane dies of old age or by somebody else's hand, then Sheev gets to put up the North Pole. Right here, he gets to put the North Pole, Santa's winter cabin, in his background for an entire week. So we've got some, we've got a little skin in the game.
I think you're going to be putting up Vader's lair in the background.
we shall see. We shall see. You know, it was just fun because I was watching Sheev do his video reaction, and he said 100%. That Boba Fett was going to kill Cad Bane. He said 100%, and he said it like 2 or 3 times, and I said, "Okay, challenge accepted."
This is that duel. I absolutely agree. That duel is about to occur, and Fennec Shan's going to be also involved in it, and that's what's going to link Fennec Shan and Boba together.
Oh. A fascinating theory, but have you seen the pictures from StarWars.com that show Cad Bane with the metal plate on his head?
I have not seen that.
So it was in the concept drawings for episode 8 for the animators. So there's a bunch of instruction on the screen.
Oh yeah, I was going to watch that. I saw your thing pop up. Cad Bane's, survived. I totally meant to watch that. I bet that's where you were talking about the plate.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. So he's got a metal plate on his head. Why would Cad Bane just randomly have a metal plate attached to his noggin?
Unless he does get shot, that helps him survive.
Right? Or maybe,
one of the two, right? Or you're shot in the head and they put a plate on his head.
Exactly. He's either already been shot in the head, which puts him as surviving it, or he put it there just in case Boba might shoot him in the head.
Or he was shot in the head, and it's like you have, I have that shot in the head, and I had to have a metal plate put in, that old. War wound kind of thing.
Exactly. I think
you may be right on that. I still think the duel will occur. How about this? All right. I 100% think that here's what I'll put in there. 100% think that the duel will definitely occur in this series. That Cad Bane 100% dies. I cannot say it can be confirmed.
There you go. And that's the challenge I had to take with Sheev, because he said 100%. And I was like, well, that's just out there. Somebody's got to call him out on that. And so, if I'm wrong, then Santa will visit Vader's castle for a week. So there you have it.
What if they also answer it in the series, though? What if the duel occurs, we see Cad Bane drop, but that other stuff was just concept art, and we don't see that concept art come to fruition for like in 5 years.
I know. She and I are going to have to remain friends for a long time. If Cad Bane dies of old age, really the question is, will they use him in live action in the Mandoverse? And they're setting it up. I think.
So,
go ahead.
Let me say what I think is about to happen. I actually now think that Cad Bane won't die. Now that I think about it, and here's why: because we know they're exploring the bounty hunter wars in comic books, and I think that's going to come to fruition in a sequel series that of Solo, and we're going to see Kira again, and that's all going to be inside that. And I think we might revisit some of it inside the Book of Boba Fett. I don't know that for a fact, but one of those two places, that rivalry is going to be revisited that we're about to explore in the Bad Batch.
I agree. So I think that Sheev is at risk. That's all.
Yeah. So I 100% think that duel is going to occur. I'm not 100% sure on Cad Bane's death. In fact, I don't think the death is going to occur until the second meet.
Well, if then, there are other.
I think it'll happen then. I think they will end it then.
There are other people that can kill Cad Bane, including if they bring back Mace Windu or
but
Ahsoka.
Story-wise, you just don't do that.
Right. So I do want to mention, and hello, Abby. I wanted to mention, I've got what is it called? It's a crawler at the bottom of the screen. Those are our predictions for week 8, the Bad Batch. All the people on the Wall of Fame, if you beat Santa on the predictions, you go on the Wall of Fame for a week, and you get highlighted on the channel. And this is, we had such a long list this week. I've got them all going across here at the bottom. And the scores, so Ducky, Momo, and Bruce All-Malty, congratulations on being the winners. And then everybody else listed here beat Santa this week. And you know what? A Magic Maker and Santa tied. So congratulations, everybody.
So I mean, Santa's not on the Wall of Shame this time?
No, we're tied. You have to lose to a Magic Maker to be on the Wall of Shame. We did have a number of people on the Wall of Shame. I didn't think it was fair to put them on a crawler, though.
I think I'm fairly consistent at this point. I think I'm coming in about midway, 13, 14, like every week. So really, you just have to be pegging and guessing all right every time.
Yeah, it's a fun game, and if you guys want to join us in our week 9 predictions, I've put it in the description here. It's in the Discord. I've sent it DM to a Magic Maker, so we all.
It's done. I've completed it.
You've completed it.
I've completed it. This is the first time I've done it before the show.
Oh, very good, very good. Just highlighting folks here. In the chat. Good to see you all. I really appreciate all the support. Yes, Trev, you are on the Wall of Fame. Cad Bane versus Boba is the new Obi-Wan versus Maul. It could happen. We could get that rematch, and of course, Obi-Wan takes quick care of Maul in the rematch, right? So there you go. I see all kinds of I see all kinds of comments. I'm trying to get caught up. Other than that, week 8, the last episode, what were your overall thoughts on that?
It was excellent. I really enjoyed it. Every little piece of that needed to happen at a season mid is there. So, I mean, you have that climax, come into fruition, the cliffhanger type style. Whenever you're writing, you always go for either a false climax or a false, dip, in the whole thing, so that where you're setting everything up for the remainder of the story. So they did really well here. It's like right on time.
Oh, I thought so too. For me, I gave it a 10 out of 10. You had a fantastic reveal. Right? Who saw Cad Bane coming? Right?
Yeah, I did not. I did not see that happen at all. I don't know why we didn't. I mean, we know he's not dead yet, and it's the bounty hunters are going after him. I mean, I was like after them. I was like, as soon as I saw him, I went, of course.
Oh, very good, Trev. We got your predictions in. See if you can beat Santa 2 weeks in a row. There's Nikki, Cad Bane, and Finnick team up, fall in love, and live happily ever after. There you go. And I did see the All New Nerds reaction video to episode 8, and now Johnny predicted it, but only after they said they were going to hire somebody else. So during the episode, but before the episode, I don't think anybody had Cad Bane on their radar to show up in the Bad Batch. But credits to Johnny for doing that. And I also saw in Kessel Run Transmissions, what's her name? She when the same sort of reaction that Johnny did when she first heard, she said, "Ooh, could that be Cad Bane?" And then later, when it was revealed, she lost her mind. So I think we all lost our minds when we saw that. It was fantastic. And there's some recent stuff coming up for episode 9. Look, Cad Bane, I love Cad Bane. I thought the vest that he had on was super cool too. The animation in this series, as you were talking about, like for a mid-season kind of show, I think the Bad Batch did a perfect job.
No, they did an excellent job. I think this is well written. I'm impressed with the way they're. I mean, I've not been able to really predict too much. That means they're layering different things in there very well and setting up. So I'm not surprised when I see things happen. It's just like I'm thinking in a different direction, and then when it pops up, I'm like, yeah, I should have seen that.
Yeah, it's Claire. Claire is who I was trying to think of. Yeah, Claire. She said that. You've changed it to Vader's Lair. Yeah, Sheev the Wise. That's the same guy. Sheev the Wise. Vader's Lair is his channel, so you guys could go subscribe to him there. He does a great job. But and we're good friends. We had a lot of fun earlier this week streaming together, and there's been requests for us to make it a regular. I think we're both on the same page. We would love to do that, so we've just got to kind of work it on and get there. But yeah. It was amazing. Before the live stream crashed on him. Now,
that's always fun.
If you haven't been following Sheev, he and Streamlabs have a very close relationship. They're good. It's just hand in glove. I say that completely facetiously.
As long as the glove is inside out and has holes in it.
It has holes in it. That's exactly it. So anyway, yeah, I thought it was perfect. Now they've taken Omega, right? Cad Bane's taken Omega, and now we're set up for the second half of the season. And the second half of the season, you got to believe they'll drag out rescuing her, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a little bit, but I do think she's definitely force sensitive now.
Do you?
Yes.
What gave you that?
So just before the ships arrived, she looked up as if they were, and looked out there as if she had a sense of something. And then she looked over at the thing, what's this light? And that's when they said, that's a proximity sensor. It must have been a malfunction. And then, of course, then they arrived. Yeah,
I'm still not on the force.
No, I'm fully believe she's force sensitive now. I'm totally on that. That I'm 100% on that thing. I'll make that bet right now.
There's
be force sensitive.
I think it's possible she's force sensitive, but I think it's unlikely.
I think this is all about the setup, man. I think they have got to get us from here to Rise of Skywalker. I think they do, and this is it. This is the path they're going.
Perhaps.
I will not be surprised if we find out that she is actually Rey's mother.
No, I don't think so. But the age isn't right.
No, the age could totally be right. She'd be in her 40s.
I I don't know, but we'll see. That's the fun part. I absolutely love this because it opens things up. And you mentioned what good writing this is. I want to share. There's an article that came out earlier this week, and I sent it to a magic maker ahead of time. And many of you may have already seen. Star Wars Meg did a video on it today. Even it's an interview on StarWars.com with Jennifer Corbett. She is the showrunner for the Bad Batch, and Will Morgan. Will thinks it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That this is Omega's Snow White, but anyhow, that's Will. Look, Jennifer Corbett. This interview on here I thought was really fascinating and worth a read. And you read it. What do you think?
I thought it was really interesting. I agree with her take, or what she laid the hints on take. Her hints that she laid out there, the importance of Echo and Omega. Of course, I've already explained why Omega. I think Omega is super important, and she'll be carried all the way through. She's going to definitely survive the show and make it all the way through. I think Echo, on the other hand, is also going to show us the importance and the individuality of the regs, as the Clan Force Bad Batch likes to call them.
That's a good point. Meg's been kind of highlighting it, and I noticed it as well in episode 8, where Echo is kind of a different wavelength than the rest of the Bad Batch.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? This is not what we were, designed for.
Right.
And so I do see that kind of building, and I agree. But I really like this part here. I wanted to talk about a little bit because I think it shows up somewhere else. And it's kind of funny how coincidental it is. She says the interesting challenge was, how do you challenge a super soldier? That's interesting in that they brought in Omega to help deal with that. Omega was largely the answer to that. That's the idea how Omega came to be. Have you been watching Superman and Lois by any chance?
I have not, no.
So Superman and Lois is on the Warner Brothers channel. It's a new WB channel show. And they've taken a similar approach in that show. How do you challenge Superman, right? He's one of the most OP superheroes of all time. And challenging Superman has always become a difficult thing to do. And you see, like, Lex Luthor will kidnap Lois, or all kinds of things where they try to put him in situations where his family is at risk. Well, Superman and Lois, what they did is they introduced children, right? So Superman has to be a dad of a couple of teenage boys. And he's not such a great dad. I mean, he's a good dad. Don't get me wrong, but he can't be Superman. His powers give him no ability to be a great dad. And in many cases, he's been an absent dad because he's out saving the world, right? So the kids have some issues. Well, I find it fascinating that Jennifer says that's basic question that they ask themselves for the Bad Batch. How do you challenge a super soldier? Really good.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is the idea. I mean, so it's one thing to have a one out, like you write a movie, and in that movie you can be Arnold Schwarzenegger, doing his thing, or be Bruce Willis doing his thing. It's one challenge. It's simple. Sylvester Stallone doing his one thing. I mean, it's just like, whatever it is. I mean, it's that 80s superhero, right?
Right.
And so that's effectively what kind of we talked about, comparing this to the A-Team, right?
Yes.
But even in the A-Team, they brought in another character, to challenge their dynamic, right? So that they couldn't just go out and be just soldiers,
right?
And because soldier is, you get your mission, you take your task, you go do it. I mean, you can only do that so many times before everybody go, okay, I've seen this before. And so the idea is now you have to create this other dynamic. So the other dynamic is always the character that challenges their morality, that changes their focus, changes their what they would normally do. Normally, would just throw things around and expect the other guys to get in line. But now they have this a new character that cannot match their capabilities, and so they have to make decisions and determine their priorities. And so that means that challenges their view to each other as well. So because she is not capable of taking care of herself, now they literally have to say, I'm making a decision to risk the life of Tech or Hunter or Wrecker in order to save her. And that's a completely, I mean, now it's a decision. It's a decision versus I will sacrifice myself to save this innocent, you know.
Yeah.
It's decisions of what make the tension between choices, not just myself versus that. I mean, because every hero will do that, right? But the difference is, do I sacrifice my friend or do I sacrifice my little girl? That's a huge, huge challenge. In this case, it might be brother in the sense, versus my little girl, since they're all technically not related, but they're all clones.
Right. And Nikki in the chat, thank you for being here, Nikki. You know, I saw Nikki earlier in the week during Nerd Theory. She was keeping it hot on the Den of Nerds, and I saw her posting. I thought, you know, I'm gonna have to put Nikki on the naughty list. So now she's relishing it. She's here just to maintain her status on the naughty list. She wants all the coal. She's going to have to compete with XR Coon and some of the other folks who want to hoard all the coal. You guys got to share.
I've discovered a new mine, guys, so you're fine.
Okay, yeah, because a magic maker doesn't mind getting a couple lumps of coal from time to time either.
No, not at all.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, it's some of the magic that's making the clone this Bad Batch series fantastic, right? It's this family element that they brought in. And that's what's going on in Superman and Lois. You got a family element going on, and it's really, really good. Will Morgan asked a good question. Will Omega be the source of Boba and Bane's duel? Well, we did see in the original duel, the one that was unfinished, that that Bane had some hostages, and Boba was having none of it. He's like, let them go. It's not their, you know, this isn't their fight. You got no business doing this. And Cad Bane, that's what, and we get the duel. So might we get the rematch? So assuming that that's happened, or that they'll do a flashback and show it, might Omega be the source of a rematch?
So I think they are the source of the match. I don't think that other one was ever happened. That's what I think.
I think, yeah, that's the debate that we had with Sheev the other day. I think that it has, and that's why he's got the plate on his head. Mm-hmm. But I
think that's an aftermath of the upcoming. But we haven't seen him without a hat yet, so we don't know, right? Right.
We don't know. Sitting there, what if Omega turned out to be Captain Phasma? That's a fun one. Except there's a novel that gives the backstory of Phasma that kind of rules that out. But it's a good one.
Well, I mean, who knows? Books are getting thrown out all the time.
That's true. That's true. So this story goes on, and Jennifer does a really neat job. You guys, again, check it out. That it's in the description here as well. You can find it out on StarWars.com. And I didn't know that she had a background in the U.S. Navy, first of all. Secondly, she has a background writing for NCIS. So, her background with the Navy is probably what got her the job with NCIS. And that NCIS, this background plays heavily into her success, I think, with the Bad Batch. You're talking about an ex-military unit and all of that, right? So she's somewhat familiar. And she did write an episode for Resistance. Now, I know most people have not watched Resistance. A Magic Maker, how much of it did you watch? Any?
We watched it all.
You watched all of it. Okay, so you probably remember this scene where they bring back Kaz's mother, right?
Yes.
Is it Kaz's mother, or is it? No, it's the other girl. It's the girl's mom. Let's see, it's in here.
I can't remember. I know you're talking about though.
Yeah, Bad Batch episode 2. Vanessa Doza, right? Doza. It's Tora Doza's mom, right?
Right.
No, her name introduced Vanessa Doza. Mother, yeah, Tora Doza was the ace pilot. Vanessa Doza, and in that with the Resistance, this character in this story arc, she mentions how Filoni gave her a note to change the ending. The ending originally was mom comes home, everybody lives happily ever after, and Filoni was like, well, that might not be a good idea. It's a nice ending, but it doesn't feel real because it feels like kids can think when something bad happens, it's going to get fixed. But the story you want is that they have to have hope. And if you hold on to hope, anything can happen. So they changed the ending based on that. And
that was a better one. But I think that was the problem along with a lot of the Resistance. It was really very simplistic. There was too many simplistic concepts that really didn't challenge them. But that was an example of a change that I think is good.
Yeah, and then the other advice that Filoni gave her was if you keep it to what Lucas created Star Wars to be, which is a long discussion in and of itself, but we won't get into too far. But if you keep it into what Lucas intended it to be, you don't veer too much from it, then it's going to work. Solid advice.
Yes, agreed.
And then we get a bunch of other stuff in the story. And she talks about some of the characters. She talks about character development. I loved what she said about things like Wrecker. Wrecker being emotionally more mature than many of the others, while he may be less matured, like in his conversations. Right? He's a boy. He's a child at heart. And she mentions how he's in many ways he behaves at Omega's age level, but he's the only one that had the emotional intelligence to realize she needed to have a place, and built her bedroom and gave her the doll and all that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but I think it's very childlike. I mean, it's that emotional innocence that lets you go do that. You know, it's
yeah.
I mean, I won't say that. You know, all right, I'm okay. There is. I think we all have the ability to empathy. So like what we do is, it's not that we don't recognize that you know, that she probably needs her place, or that she needs her little doll or whatever it is, because she's still a kid. It's just that we let too many other things, you know, block that. So when you're innocent, you don't have all those other things that block it. You're allowed to think one emotional feel to the next. And so instead of being clouded by the logical and blocking out the emotional to deal with it later, you go, oh, I feel this. Let me act on that feeling. And that's that. There's a sense of immaturity and innocence that come with it. Well, the innocence is the immaturity. The innocence in that lets you do that. It's the ability not to worry about all the other complicated stuff that so many adults do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's good. I'm just reading through some of the comments. They're talking about some of the other things that we want to get to. So I'm just reading through here quick. Yeah, Will, I want to get to this in a bit. The chameleons hired bounty hunters. Right. Okay. Let me just make sure we're caught up. Let's see. Yeah, how did Grogu survive? Yeah, we'll get there. So there's this other part here in this story. It says they can go off and do whatever they want now. And so a lot of people have been asking, what is the Bad Batch about? And is it a continuation of the Clone Wars? Is it its own thing? You and I have been pretty consistent in always saying that it's the Space A-Team. It's modeled after it. The characters are modeled after it. The stories are somewhat similar in that manner. And here she talks about it to some degree. She said they decide to stay together as a squad and figure things out as a team. It's really family dynamic, a dysfunctional family dynamic. It appeals. I think a lot of people want this to be moving the story forward as far as the Empire. What's going on in the Empire? What's going on with the stormtroopers? And the show's not about that.
Right. I mean, it's just not, Rise of the Empire, series. This is as it's called, the Bad Batch. I mean, it's a story about a team who's trying to navigate all the confusion that's going on in the galaxy. I mean, you can imagine any country that's been ravaged by war or continent. I mean, imagine how confusing, Europe was after following World War II. Imagine any country that after it's suffered through war, trying to navigate that as a team, whether you're used to combat or not.
Yeah. It's really good. A lot of veterans after war, and we see it here in the United States as well, really have that identity crisis. And there's places like the VFW where veterans can come together as veterans and work out those kind of problems. And really what we've got here is one batch of veterans who are trying to work through these problems together.
Yeah. I mean, they're still fighting. The dynamics changed and of what they fought for, and now they don't know what they're really fighting for. And and I can speak to the fact that, it's not uncommon to have, a sense of loss when you leave the military or come back from combat. I mean, I think that I went through some depression at the end of when I retired, actually. So, I mean, it's not uncommon to kind of figure out what the heck that, you're going to do now. You've had a pretty distinct goal, a distinct, kind of set of rules, and you knew what you were doing and why you were doing it. And as soon as that is removed out from under you, it's really hard to be centered.
Yeah. And I was never deployed in combat. I was active duty during the war, the first Gulf War. And to this day, we still have regular communications with some of the guys I served with. And it's a camaraderie. It becomes a bit of a family unit that carries on for the rest of your life. And when I think about how young I was at the time and how it was a relatively short period in my life, just 5.5 years, I was active duty. But yet 30 years later, we're still in communication. So it's pretty interesting thing. So she goes on, she talks about each of the characters. Crosshair, we're kind of going along, and I don't want to spend the rest of the time just talking about this article, because there's some other real fun things to talk about, but I encourage you all to go read it. There's some insights into Crosshair and Tech and all of the characters and where the show might go. There's some hints, right?
So prediction right now, what's going on? I want to hear your prediction. What happens to Crosshair by the end of this season?
I think he's going to sacrifice himself for his brothers, and I think he'll die.
I think he is the one who causes the clone uprising. That's my prediction.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I think that's very possible. I know a lot of people have been talking about all of the Bad Batch dying during the show, except maybe Hunter and Omega. I don't think that's the case at all. I think they'll survive, mostly all of them. The only one I think is sure to die is Crosshair in his redemption. And
no, I definitely think there'll be a redemption, but I think he starts the clone uprising, and that is what ends the clones being part of the Empire.
Oh, that's fascinating. That would be great. And then, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be multiple seasons, more than two.
I just heard her. I heard Meg say there's only going to be 2 seasons. So I was just like, what?
Yeah,
I was predicting 4. So I mean, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, so X-Wing's on the same path with you. I think he's going to lead the uprising. And he thinks that most of the Clone Force 99 is going to die during the uprising against the Project War Mantle. Ooh, X-Wing going hot there. I don't know.
I'm not necessarily in disagreement with that. I think ultimately, I think they hint And I think just the article we just looked at hints that the only people coming out of it is Omega and Echo.
Well, that's where, again, Meg picks up on that line as well. I just don't think so. I mean, when you watch the A-Team, I'm still locked on to A-Team. When you watch the A-Team, they don't die.
Right. Nobody dies in the A-Team, though. Not even the bad guys.
So I don't think the Bad Batch are going to die, and I think there'll be multiple seasons, more than 2, and it'll continue this journey as we let Omega's character develop further, and the longer they can keep it going, the longer they can continue her story to develop, the more they'll be able to use her other places. So that's what's in my mind.
Eventually, probably Echo even has to die, and the reason I say that is because you don't see Echo with Rex and Wolf and oh darn it, now my brain's going blank. What was the other one? Gregor,
yeah. So I don't know. I do want to kind of switch gears into episode 9 predictions, and likewise earlier today, a new teaser trailer dropped, and now we've kind of got to be careful here. We don't want to, what happens when you show trailers and talk about them. You get your live streaming channel completely blocked. That's what happened to the Den of Nerds. They were discussing a trailer, and his second view through, the WB copyright struck him, and his live channel is now defunct for a week. So, yikes! So we got to.
So let's do some screenshots. Let's how about that?
Well, we'll stop and start it, and we'll hope that nothing happens. I've got this set at 0.25 speed, and the volume is muted, so that at least they can't pick up on that. It does cover some of the same footage we've seen before. We've got Camino, and I'll stop it along the way. We'll talk about some of the new stuff. Right?
Yeah, we just saw that.
You'll be fine. We'll see. We saw this too. I think this is reused footage.
Yeah, I think most of it's reused footage. There's a couple exceptions.
And again, I think we're going to see plenty of going back to Ord Mantell.
Yeah,
that's fine. And this is reused footage. This happened before. This, of course, with the Martez sisters, they're kind of bringing some stuff up. It's not the WB. You'll be fine. All right, this I think might be new. I don't remember her on Wrecker's shoulder eating the Mantell mix, and I do think we're going to go back to Ord Mantell pretty soon.
I disagree. They were all talking about eating that, and that charge. That was one that was like emphasized them eating all that.
I'll have to go back and look. I think it's a tradition that they get the Mantell mix after every episode, or after every mission. So, and here's Sid again. I think it heavily implies we're going back to Ord Mantell, and they're going to get another mission.
Right, and I think that scene also implies when they show Camino that ultimately that's kind of where this whole thing's going. Yeah.
The question then becomes, I like this too. You see Wrecker picking up Omega, kind of like a father would pick up his kid coming home from work, right?
Yeah.
So I thought this was great, and that you continue to see this build. There's something else I was going to say, but we'll let it go.
That was one of my favorite parts, where he's trying to rip open the cage that's holding the proton torpedoes, and she just pushes the button and it opens up. I laughed at that. That was good. That was fun.
Exactly.
Episode 8.
Yes. Yeah. And as she mentions, they do need money for fuel. Well, they've got this relationship with Sid, and they're going to continue working for her. I think that's just, they've set it up really nicely. At some point that may become a problem, but again, we see some replay footage.
Well, I think inevitable, Sid's gonna sell them out.
I think so too. Eventually, I absolutely agree. So we've been talking about the remaining footage that we haven't seen from the first half of the season, and this is one of them. We have here Raka, right? Braka. Braca. This is the footage we think we're going to see. At least I think we're going to see this episode, episode 9. We're going to be going here. They talk about having to deal with Crosshair, but here we're going to be going back. This is going to be coming right into 9, I believe.
So where did you think this is? What I'm looking at?
Is it Rex before Raxus? Raxus, that's it. This is Raxus.
It really looks like Onderon to me.
You think Onderon? No, in one of the previous trailers, I think you could see in the I think a lot of people think this is Raxus. I think they talked about. I think it was given away. It's Raxus. Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty sure. I could be wrong, but like 95% sure it's Raxus.
Raxus is a junk planet.
No, that was Braca.
No, Braca is also a junk planet, but Raxus Prime is a junk planet. I'm looking at it right now on Wikipedia.
Well, a lot of people, me included, I think this is going to be Raxus. We'll find out. I
think that's Onderon. That looks like Onderon's palace from the Clone Wars.
Well, Onderon will be interesting.
That takes us right back to Saw Gerrera.
Ooh, well,
And you see the uniform later. It looks like the Onderonian uniform.
Yeah, we'll get that. So, I do want to point out this droid here in the footage. He shows up again, and Gray agrees with you. It does look like Onderon. Yeah, Raxus is not a junk planet. This is the way it says. Gray says it's Onderon. Onderon. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. But we get this droid. You mentioned the series name of. It looks like the same one that Zero is in Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
And then a little more reuse footage. More reuse footage. We'll get there. There's some fascinating stuff coming up. Oh, so we get a little bit of a duel here. I don't think was this their escape from Raxus or Braca? I mean,
no, I don't think so.
No, I think this is a new duel.
I think that's Kamino.
And here we go. We get shot, and we can see somebody here in the rear gunner station. I was asking on Discord who this might be. It could be Wrecker. It looks like a member of the Bad Batch.
He's got really big shin guards. I think it's Wrecker. He looks like he's all scrunched in there.
It could be Wrecker. And then more reuse footage. I think it's Wrecker too as well. Oh, here's what we're talking about. They're going in this cave. Now, if this is on that planet, be it Raxus or Onderon, they're going underneath the palace in a hole they blew, right?
Yep.
And they go in here, and here you can see as it lights up this guy in uniform here. You think this looks like an Onderonian uniform? It
does to me. I'd have to look it up to be specific, but I think I remember the Royal Guard having uniforms very similar to that.
And you can see that that droid is there with them as well, right? Yeah, the droid's right there with Sheev, right here. So this is that same droid that we saw earlier, along with that guard. So that's new footage. Here's reuse footage again. I think for sure we're going to that planet again. I think it's Raxus, but if it's Onderon, I'm not gonna get upset. Anyhow, we get more footage here of the reuse footage we've seen, and here we go. There's another big clue coming in really soon. Okay, reuse footage. Okay, here they're telling us about Fennec going back to the bounty hunter that's after Omega. You see Fennec, and then you get this scene. We're going to slow this down. We're going to go through this kind of really slowly because we've got Omega here. I believe that her arms are still handcuffed together in front. And there's a big green tank of something back here, and Finnick is coming into the scene. Right? So Finnick comes in and kneels down, and watch Omega's reaction to Finnick as she comes in to talk to her. She recoils back, right? So Omega is recoiling back at Finnick coming down. She doesn't trust her. I think she's got these handcuffs on. And in this scene, she's doing something behind Finnick's back, which results in something bad happening right here. So she looks, whatever is in this tank, Omega sets something about to happen. Finnick realizes, uh-oh, well, there's a problem. And if the tank comes down on her, smashes open, and there we go. So the rest of this is primarily just, well, there's a little bit more new footage. We'll get back to it here in just a second.
So those don't look like the cloning cylinders that you saw on both The Mandalorian and in the sequel trilogy?
I don't think so.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think they do.
The characters inside don't look the same, right?
But you don't see them really, right? You don't know what they are. They could be monstrosities from the Strandcast, right?
They absolutely could. And here we see coming off of this palace, Tech is shooting at a stormtrooper down here. Boom, freezes him. Some reuse footage, and I think that pretty much wraps up. Oh, nope. We got a big old battle droid coming in there, and then we have
not from where they were just at, where they were at that decommissioning. Could
have been in the decommissioning facility a couple episodes ago, right? Episode 7.
Yep. That's what
there's episode 8 stuff, more episode 8 stuff, and I think this is where it ends. I think that's the end of it. The fun scene of Wrecker holding on. Yep, that ends it. So some good footage in there, really. Yeah, it's the same color as the ones on Exegol. So it could be a bit of a cloning vat. Not sure. But what do you think about Finnick? So we don't see, we definitely do not see my boy, right? Cad Bane doesn't show up in this trailer. But Finnick does. And Finnick has Omega. Omega's got the handcuffs on. What do you suppose the relationship between Finnick and Cad Bane is at this point?
I think it's not good. I think she just stole his bounty.
Ooh. Fascinating. So we've got a bounty duel.
Yep.
And
she's broken the bounty hunter's code.
Ooh. That would be hot. The other thing is she's still got Omega in the handcuffs though.
Yeah, because I think she intends to give over the bounty.
Fascinating. I think that's entirely possible. It's a question, and I wonder for the folks that are watching in the chat, what do you think? Do you think Finnick and Cad Bane are working together, or do you think they're fighting against one another? And Miknay, you got to run. Thanks for being here. I think they could be working together, only because I agree that the Kaminoans hired them. Right. And Cad Bane's worked with other bounty hunters in the past. So,
what if Finnick is not hired by the Kaminoans?
Well, I think she is, though. I think
I'm asking the question. I don't know. I mean, this is not something. I think the most likely answer is that yes, and that they called in Cad Bane. But let's drop a hypothetical.
Okay.
What if there's another party that's after Omega, and Finnick Shand is working for that party?
That's interesting. Then who is the first? Well, I think I know where you're going with it. I think I know where you're going with it, but I don't think it cuts that deep. I think that they say that they've hired one. Who would be the first one that they hired then? Boba Fett?
Maybe.
they hired Boba Fett, and Boba Fett wasn't getting the job done, so they hired Cad Bane.
Yeah, I'm throwing something out there to see if there's anything will stick on this one. So let's see if we can explore this just a little bit. I mean, so I get it that we don't know who else is out there, and we assume that it's that the idea is this, to assume that it's Fennec Shand, right? But it could be anybody, right?
Sure.
And so for all we know, it's Dengar, it's IG-88. We don't know, and so for the sake of argument, let's say that the intent is to give you the assumption that Fennec Shand was the first one, but we don't have any of that confirmed, so we don't know, and she's actually working for somebody else, so it's actually a misdirect.
You love misdirects.
I do. I mean, they're often used, and so it's a very good way to tell a story.
I just don't know. I think if anybody else is going to come in, it's going to be Boba Fett, and I almost guarantee. In fact, the other day, Sheev and I both said 100% Boba Fett's going to be in this season.
I'm not doubting that Boba Fett will show up. I just don't think it's happened yet.
I think if somebody else is hired as a bounty hunter to get Omega, it would be Boba Fett.
Yeah. Oh, what if that's the case? Really, what if Cad Bane isn't working for the Kaminoans? Maybe that's the misdirect.
Well, I think Fennec and Cad Bane are working for the Kaminoans. If anybody's not working for the Kaminoans, it would be Boba Fett. That's my take.
So who wants to have her? I mean, I'm just trying to speculate.
Yeah.
Explore some of the options here, because I don't think it's laid out clearly. We haven't got some distinct hints to let you know who else might be after Omega.
It's true. There hasn't been any other, just specified.
Right.
But
other than you see some what appears to be disagreement between the Lamassu and what's the other? Malasay.
Yeah. Well, I think that everything's pointing that Omega is a project of the Kaminoans. She's not Imperial property. She's not part.
Without a doubt. I'm actually. I wouldn't even be surprised that it's Lamassu that is in the red, right? Or have it backwards.
I get them backwards all the time.
All right. So the one in the red who is raised Omega. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I don't think that she wants Omega captured and brought back. I think she distinctly wanted her to be gone. I think she knows that the ultimate fate of Omega is actually not good for her, and I think that the one in red actually loves Omega and wants her to be free. And so I think she is trying to undermine the efforts by the prime minister of whatever his name is, the one that's in charge of the Kaminoans. Since we can't remember the names, my brain's going blank. And
right.
And, that's what happens when you get older. People don't get old.
No, I see. So maybe we've got a little internal competition in the Kaminoans where one group's hiring against another group, or one person is hiring.
If I were to speculate this moment, that would be it.
I see. That could be the case. It could be the case. That's a pretty fascinating theory. In fact, it's worth considering as we go forward.
That would actually allow Fennec Shand to go after Cad Bane, because the bounty is by two different people or two different sources.
Yeah. And it explains like Will Morgan saying, a bunch of people are saying now, like, it doesn't make sense that they work so hard to get her out, only to then work to get her back in.
Right.
Oh, Ducky Momo, the Hutts could end up hiring after they saw Omega in the Muchi mission. Ooh, the Hutts involved. The Hutts are everywhere, but I think that's a good point. Why send her away and then pull her back in? Rowdy Hercules, his prediction on Camino, the clones are going to remember Cad Bane and shoot him. Chaos, Omega hides a Bad Batch. It's fascinating. So we do have episode 9 comes out tonight. Oh, we're if you haven't put in your predictions yet, there's a link in the description here where you can put in your predictions for episode 9, and you see the crawler at the bottom of the screen. These are the winners last week. The people who beat Santa, the Wall of Fame, as we like to call it here. The Wall of Fame's crawling across the bottom with their scores. There are 20 yes or 19 yes and no questions, so 18 is an impressive score. And then there's one open-ended question at the end where you can put in a guess, and that can get you up to as many as 20 points. So you guys go put in your predictions. It's a lot of fun, and then we score them after we watch the live stream. We'll do that in the morning. So Imagic Maker has his guesses in. I've got my guesses in. We'll find out where the show goes tonight. And Imagic Maker, there's another part that came out. I kind of want to change the topic again before we run out of time. There's another news article that came out, and it's making its way through the Twitterverse, right? that the shooting dates for the Acolyte have been set first quarter of 2022. Okay,
that doesn't surprise me.
No, I think that's good. We just saw the interview that Leslie Headland gave.
Yeah, they're starting to push it and get some information out and some advertisement. Basically, they're starting to hype it.
Exactly.
So you're in.
Exactly. But so it raises just a couple of questions. As far as timing goes, we know that they were doing the Book of Boba Fett. That filming has wrapped, and that they're supposedly working on. Well, we know for sure. We've seen plenty of set photos. They're working on Kenobi,
right? and Andor. We know that's almost done. If it's not already done.
Yeah, Andor. We've got friends who are over in the area who take pictures of them over in Europe. Some of the outdoor places. So. All of that being said, we've got the next season of The Mandalorian needs to shoot sometime, and I think you and I have agreed on this. I don't know if you still are in that position that they've done some shooting already for Mando 3.
I don't think they've done. Maybe they haven't done primary shooting with certain characters, but I think the idea that they're. Just filmmaking is not sequential. That's just what you have to understand.
Right.
And so I think this idea that they haven't done any shooting is probably just not true.
I agree with you. And so, but the primary shooting for Mando season can be this fall. I think there's been rumors of it being like September. But I reached out to, I asked a question in a live stream I asked a question on Daniel Rickman's Discord server, and Daniel Rickman said that he heard it was starting next year, right? So that would put it right there with the Acolyte. So
yeah, I don't see principal shooting happening then. But what I think they run into conflict with is I know that Pedro Pascal is doing stuff for The Last of Us, and so I think that put some hiccups in what they were doing. I additionally think that they had some rewrites to do, which was why I think there are definitely some episodes that had no principal shooting at all, which is I think that's why you have those issues.
Very good. We're in agreement. I'm on the same page with you here. So just wanted to share that out. It is making its way across Twitter right now and lots of stuff on it. The Acolyte starting. I don't think that it's going to interfere at all with postponing Mando, meaning I don't think Mando 3 is put on pause indefinitely. I think Mando 3 is happening, that it's going to be in principal photography or filming, and everything's on schedule, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I stick by my prediction of next summer.
Yep.
That's what I said before.
I'm with you. There's one last thing I want to share with everybody. And it's I'm investing in improving the channel. We're getting very, very close to our 4,000 hours of watch time to be monetized. And when we monetize the channel, what we want to do is give that away. Right. So we want to get toys. We want to get figures from Vintage Collection, Black Series, perhaps even some premium figures like Hot Toys. And every month to our channel subscribers, we want to give things away. And I've been doing some toy reviews using the webcam you see right here, but it presents some problems. One is it's way out in front of me here. The other is that we're using the blue screen. It causes some problems with figures, and then getting them up close and getting good reviews has been hard. So I want to show you guys what I'm working on. I just got this new webcam. So let me bring it up so you all can see what is going on. There we go. So so we've got a new webcam that we'll be able to put figures in front of. And so just for an example, I've got here my Vintage Collection Cara Dune. And you can see that I can get her much closer to the camera. And if I click the little button there, it'll refocus on her. Let me try that again. Get the focus on her, and you can even make out. Here we go. You can make out textures in her outfit. We could get there. You go. Oh, it had it for a second. Let's try again. You get textures in her outfit. We can see colors more clearly, like textures on that weapon, her boots. You can see all that kind of stuff. So the colors, the textures, and doing the reviews, you'll be able to see much more clarity the toy reviews. So I've got a couple of other things coming to help stage it so that the background is there. But we're going to start doing toy reviews. And as we do the toy reviews, we'll be giving away the figures to our channel subscribers. There you can see some of the texture on her torso there and the boots. So this is something upcoming, and we're going to be doing reviews of the characters you see back there in the back. Fives, ARC Trooper Fives. We've got Sharut and Hondo is hiding over here. Let's bring Hondo into view. So. So we'll be doing those reviews very, very soon. I wanted to share those with you all so that you could see what I'm working on, and we will be doing those soon. So as we get closer to the 4,000 hours and we get monetized, for those who subscribe, you'll be entered in, our channel subscribers will be entered in for these giveaways on a regular basis. So the more subscribers get, the more we'll give away. And we get to a point where we can do a hot toy review, that we'll do that as well. And that pretty much covers it. Come join our Discord. We'll have more discussions. Tomorrow morning, we'll do a live stream of Watch at 7:30 a.m. And then later in the day, we'll have the Discord live stage where it's open Star Wars discussion. You guys can come join us at the Discord live stage. And a Magic Maker every Sunday, or most Sundays, almost every Sunday.
I've been kind of lax here recently. I've been super busy, so yeah. Hey, I would promote it, but I just haven't been consistent on being there on Sundays. But I still want to encourage all of y'all to write your own fan fiction. Check out the link if you want us to look at it. If you want to share it, I've been super busy, so I haven't been able to put in any videos really now, going on about almost 3 months, and so it's been bad. But that said, I'm going to try to get back on it in July, and me and Vega will try to start putting some stuff out and get some stories up. And if you have stories that you would like to turn into audio fan fiction or have little stories told with them, then hit us up on the Discord, and we'll do our best to help you develop it into a good fan fiction for others to hear and see.
Yeah, and Reimagining Star Wars is a Magic Maker's YouTube channel, and again, you've been super busy, and then you just moved. You're in a new house.
We moved, and we were trying. We homeschooled the kids this last year, and then we were transitioning them back into school this year, and that's been a little more difficult than we thought it would be, getting them all situated and everything. So. so we're just getting them, ending up the school year for them was difficult. So along with the move.
yeah, lots of things going on. I understand. Look, you got elementary age, almost middle school age daughter, and you've got elementary age son. And is he in kindergarten, first grade?
Yeah, he's going into first grade, and Vega's going into sixth. So as far as her school is what we consider middle school down here. So she is entering into middle school this next year.
That's right. So, so there's not been a lot of new content on Reimagining Star Wars, but what's out there is fun. A lot of it's very entertaining, and there's actually some informational stuff. You might learn something.
We're going to start a series in July. I already actually have all the audio and part of the video done, but starting a series on symbolic Star Wars, and the first one will be the symbolism of Ahsoka. So so that'll be our series. We're going to start working through that. And then, but other than that, unless you have a story for us to work on or our own stories, we won't be doing comment because my comment videos fit right here.
There you go. And I love doing this. We've been doing this for over a year, folks. It's coming up on 2 that the Magic Maker and I have been collaborating like this. And we have different ideas, different perspectives on things. And it's been a lot of fun. And we've got a couple of announcements coming. I've got to lock one of them up. I've really got to firm it up, but it looks like maybe. I got to go check my email now. I brought it up. I've got a message out there. Will Morgan, you have me at symbolism. Yeah, Will Morgan. By the way, I got a preview of.
Well, thank you, Will.
I got a preview of Meta Eggs next video coming out, and it is fantastic. You guys, you should subscribe to Meta Egg as well. He is a lot of fun. His sense of humor and his quality of his videos is off the top. So it's great. And my email's opening up now. Let's see. Still waiting. So there's another collaboration coming up as early as Monday. We'll find out. It is. I kind of spilled the beans last week. I did get a response from Star Wars Meg. Meg is open to doing a video together. She's open to coming on the live stream to talk about things Star Wars related. We just she was traveling earlier in the week and wasn't able to make it. So we're going to try again when she's got time. We'll get a live stream with Star Wars Meg. And there's another person out there that I'm trying to get a hold of now. And he actually responded back this morning saying, let's do it. He's on board for doing it. So as soon as we get that scheduled, I don't want to do what I did with Meg and get a bunch of people excited and then it not happen. So we're going to continue to work on that. And I can't wait.
Well, even if they don't work out, you still got me.
Yeah, I've always got a Magic Maker. And Abby, you've been watching Josh. Josh at the Den of Nerds is he's a difficult boy to work with, but it's hard to get hold of. I have sent a message to Josh, but he has not responded. So if any of you all have a little more ability to get hold of him, I would love to bring him on as we approach that 4,000 hour mark, as he can help celebrate with us the channel's success in reaching that goal. So would love to get Josh on, but he has not responded. So if you guys could get hold of Josh on my behalf and get him to touch base with me, I would appreciate it.
Bring him on while he's under strike.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I thought, you've got your live stream kind of under strike there for a week, and you're reducing the amount of videos you're able to put out. But he also has 2 new puppies. He's got a house train, potty train, and so I understand he's busy. But if I could get him to jump onto a live stream just to help celebrate, right? I want to do that if we can. So especially since he helped me start the channel. Exactly. He's the one who come up with Star Wars Santa. Star Wars Santa wouldn't be Star Wars Santa without Josh. So would love to get him on if we can make that happen. A Magic Maker, what's your hype level for tonight's show?
10.
10.
I'm super
Santa
hyped.
too.
I'll probably be watching it midnight, or whenever it pops.
I am super hyped. I'm really excited for it. And I think that pretty much does it. Anything else you'd like to mention before we close out?
No, just drop me a line if you want to do it. Leave a comment. Look at that. Probably won't be doing anything this Sunday because I don't have anything new. But if you want to drop some of your fan fiction on us, we'd be more than glad to look it through.
Very good. Very good. You guys, thank you all for being here. My hype level is also a 10. I'm right there at the top. Right there you go, Ducky. Josh hates Santa. Now you have to prove he's wrong. You have to come on to prove that Ducky is wrong, Josh. So no, Josh, we have a good relationship. So konnichiwa. Hey, we've got our Japanese friend here coming in to wish us things. So tomorrow morning, come join us. We'll do a watch party together. We'll watch the episode. We'll react to it. We'll comment. We'll see whose predictions are the best. And maybe next week you can be on the crawler here at the bottom of the screen. And so until tomorrow, my friends, thank you all for being here so much. A Magic Maker.
May the force be with you guys.
That's right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.